Hello and welcome back to Lorehammer. I'm your dwarven host with the most. Well, maybe not the most beard. That would be Fuzz. But hey, I'm Mark. We also got Fuzz. Your beard's a little more long than mine. And then we got Gerald as well, whose beard I was looking almost looks like it's shaved in the Rogel Dorn fashion.
It's very honorable mentions all around.
Yeah,
of course. And I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and start us off with a very loud cover your ears, folks. Brothers of the mind, rejoice! Can I get a rockin' stone from the chat?
A rockin'
stone.
Sing,
sing with me.
We got a Dwarven episode. Is there some singing in like Leagues of Votann, or is it too?
There is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In the High Kâhls Oath, there's actually a singing section, and it was and the lyrics are handmade, but apparently the tune is actually based off of like a national Irish song.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're doing a Kâhl Ûthar the Destined. And going through this episode, man, I was just learning so much little different things, like even that, like, oh, singing, that's something new that I now have to look into. We just did kind of this little bonus episode. I'm like, oh, okay, throw that in there.
It's amazing all the little rabbit holes you can dive down for, I mean, even just, a singular character, and then it drags you in all these little directions when you start looking up stuff.
Yeah, and we're now like 2 editions, or maybe 3 editions, but like 2 full codexes deep with the Leagues of Votann. So there's quite a bit of information. They got a couple novels now, I think.
Just though I've got 1 novel, I think, unfortunately.
Oh, just the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need more.
Just the 1 novel, sadly, but it's a good read for those interested.
It is.
Here's the codex for 10th edition, and my 9th edition is somewhere buried in my pile. So
nice. Yeah, and it just seems like, we're even going through the model range. There's quite a bit of variety. So going through, we're going to be setting up a little bit of context in this episode. What are all these terms? We've really only done 2 or maybe 3 Leagues episodes. So we're kind of make sure you're up to speed with all the terms in this episode. But before we get to him, this mighty character, come hang out in the Discord. There's links in the description below. You can show us your minis. You can show us if you got tattoos. That's always fun. Do you got a bulging bicep? We got a workout channel. You can come flash pictures of that if you want. There we go. Yeah, we got all dwarven muscles. Right. Mine is made of stone and flab, but whatever.
It's a good balance.
It's a 50-50 mix.
It's a good thing you ask for biceps and not abs.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, no, in this episode, it's fine. We're going with the beer keg muscle pattern as opposed to a 6-pack pattern because we are, there we go. What are you drinking?
It is a Founder's Porter roasted coffee stout.
Okay.
I do love me some dark beer.
Nice. I just got like a steeped tea thing, cinnamon tea.
Ooh,
so
nice. Nice.
Maybe that could be dwarven. No, that's a leaf lover bullshit. I betrayed the pact.
Oh, that's some Eldar drinking bullshit right there.
So you just need a very porous stone, so the water runs through that and makes a very mineral rich tea.
That would talk.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. I'll work on it later. But yeah, come hang out in the Discord. You can show us whatever you're up to drinking. Maybe you got some crazy mix you make up for every Lorehammer episode. You're like, I can only listen to Lorehammer if it's 70% vodka and the rest is Kool-Aid. Maybe. Tell me your mix.
Hey, don't throw me a good time now.
Right, now to figure out some mixed drinks based on Lorehammer hosts.
Yeah. What are they most likely to order at a bar? Yeah, that's a fun game. Go tell us in the Discord. Cool.
Alrighty then. And of course, as always, you can join the Patreon because Patreon is fun. It helps support the show. $2.50. I feel like I'm a broken record, but you get the ad-free version on Spotify, which is always a bonus. And then $5, you get to join the live chat and get to actually see us. So I'll leave the rest of that over to Fuzz.
Yeah, so with that live stream from Patreon, you get to not just see all of our lovely bearded faces and the faces of all the other wonderful hosts we have, but you also get to join the live chat. You can make fun of us, make fun of the topic that we're talking about, ask questions, and we'll highlight some of those comments, just like right now. Minifee, this comment of singing and beer, a very dwarven tradition. around the campfire, around the solar flares.
Yeah.
And being part of the chat room, if you have something that you really want to talk about, let us know. And if we have time, we'll do call-in guests at the end. And you can actually be a part of the podcast, with your fine voice joining ours.
Nice. Yeah. With this being a new faction, there's probably a lot of opinions out there that I have not heard. So, it's not like we're going to be talking about Space Wolves, but we got like 30 years of lore. It's like I've heard the memes. There are no wolves on Fenris. I get it. But maybe you got something new to bring to the Votann topic. Let us know and we'll drop a link.
Hopefully less heated and hate-filled too.
Well, I'm okay with a grudge every now and again. A good grudge is okay, but it has to be worthy,
A good grudge keeps you warm at night.
There we go.
Cool. So in this episode, we are going to cover just some context, abhumans, and then the Leagues of Votann, and specifically Leagues kâhls. Is that how we're pronouncing that one?
Kâhls.
Okay. Yeah. Grimnir's, kin, and clone skin kind of get just like the layer of society and who everything is, because we're going to be dropping like, okay, so he's a kin, he's a clone skin. You got to kind of know some of these terms. So we'll kind of lay that foundation. Then we'll get into his history, Uthar's history, and we'll start with like where he's from, obviously. Man, all of it's such new information. Like I've never talked about any of it, from the Greater Thorian League to the Kindred of Vortann.
Vortann.
All these words are now new. I gotta learn to read again. Fuck. I was getting pretty good at sight words with all the other factions. But
it's a glossary heavy episode, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Even the Vortannic Council, that's a new term. We'll learn what the fuck is that now. And then we'll cover some of his exploits, specifically the Battle of Örgvayr, whatever. Cover his appearance, personality, philosophy. Does he have any fun abilities? Can he shoot lightning from his hands? We'll find out. War gear, from different types of armor to weapons to artifacts to force fields. He's kind of got a cool little gimmicks up his sleeve, so we'll cover that. And learn all about this little guy. My digger? Is that better?
He is just a little guy.
He is just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
He, like all of us, is just doing his best.
Have you guys really read anything on him before? Like,
just the 9th edition codex that I have, because that's like I said, his information is really just in the codices. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure if we do get more books and stuff, he will be one of the main book choices. There's a couple other cool characters that they seem to be kind of setting up as main heroes, but yeah, it's still pretty new for him.
Yeah, I think like it'd be great to have like a main novel with Ûthar as one of the main character in it, and then maybe in like another anthology book coming out, focus on one of the other dwarven heroes.
Yeah, like there's that cool guy who wears like the Tyrannid chitin on his back there.
Is that was Buri?
Our boy Burry Eggerson.
Yeah, I think that's like a Tyrannid warrior skull he wears on his back.
Yeah, it's fucking tight.
So good.
What a great mini. Yeah. So we'll kind of cover all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, let's start with learning about abhumans, because that's kind of where this story all starts genetically, I suppose.
The character in question is Burry Eggerson.
Yeah.
Had to find that page real quick. It was gonna bug me all night.
He'll come up again, don't worry.
Yes. All right, abhumans. Across the Imperium, abhumans are often regarded with suspicion, contempt, or outright hatred. Their altered forms marking them as lesser beings in the eyes of many baseline humans. Yet the kin of the Leagues of Votann stand apart from such judgments. Though not themselves considered abhumans by their own reckoning, the kin share many traits that Imperial doctrine would classify as divergent. and they therefore possess little patience for the rigid distinctions of the Imperium. To the kin, worth is not determined by purity of form, but by loyalty, competence, and one's contribution to the survival of the kindred.
Yeah, so if you want to have a good little Google image search, you just Google 40K abhumans. You'll either be disgusted or turned on, one of the two.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah, yeah. That's awful when that happens, when you're so
it's very
turned
confusing.
on. You're just very
Oh my God, it's Chainsmoker Cat as a battle sister.
Oh God, burn it with fire. Fuck.
Yeah.
I do like that in 40K. There are a lot of abhumans, and some of them, like Shark Boy here, not sanctioned.
There's so many abs in that abhuman.
Not allowed. No, you
so
can,
many abs.
Yeah, 6-packs or beer kegs, but not Costco flats. Not allowed that. But then we got also like.
This came up a little bit in the Discord today. I forget his name, but one of the guys in our Discord brought up, the kind of squats versus Votann, and like the idea of them being abhumans definitely starts in that older squat lore. I had thought they had changed it to like less of, I guess, abhuman by evolution, but maybe still classify abhumans because the kin, it's less of an evolution, more of genetic manipulation. So they're all, tiny little heretics as far as, the Imperial cult would be concerned. And I love it. That's great.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking too about that. And like, it'd probably depend on who you ask. Like, if you ask the Imperium, they're like, yeah, they're abhumans. And then if you ask the kin, they're like, but we also are so far genetically beyond that. Like,
yeah, because like the kin definitely know of and like understand that they originated as as humans 30,000 years ago when their generation ships were going to the galactic core. Maybe even probably 20,000 years ago, maybe, because that was before the the Dark Age, not the dark, like when the warp storms happened. I always forget what the name for that period is. Age of Strife. It's all because they're pre-Age of Strife, Emperor of Mankind coming to power, all that jazz, like before they were rediscovered.
So very old for sure. You're kind of mentioning like that term squat, and then we also at one point had the demiurgs, and I'm not sure if they're in that limbo state, but they all kind of are fairly different, and I think they can all honestly exist, where maybe you still do have squats that are a lot closer to actually being that abhuman category, and then you can have demiurg, which is like the fully Xenos, like short rock people, and then you can also have the kin, which are like the even farther abhuman.
I think I had seen, I think it is either in a Tau Codex or in the Votann Codex that the demiurg are a like small league. Excuse me. So I think they are like canonically Votann. But like as we'll go into with clone schemes, it means you can have all sorts of weird different genetic traits. You can look all sorts of ways. So like that rocky skin could be from a clone scheme. And a lot of I just went and looked at the squat lore they have on the 40K wiki, just because I was curious to compare what was there versus what the Votann lore is. And they pulled a lot of stuff from the original squat lore too, which I like. Like I think even like Hearthguard are part of the original squat lore. The home worlds and maybe even the term kin, I forgot.
Kind of the biker vibe on some of the models too, very loosely. There's a couple of things for sure.
And as far as squats are concerned, they got something of a resurgence with the Necromunda game, because there's like some more lore to them, and then a few other models have had either some kind of a remake or something like that. And so there's like not necessarily leagues, but there's like they themselves are divided into great houses and stuff.
Like these two guys, these came out before Leagues of Votann, so these would have been squats then. and never really renamed. Same with there's a couple others in there.
Yeah, I think like they like
Cool.
maybe squats are like trying to be pushed into like they were the first maybe like league that the Imperium discovered, and they got wrecked by Tyranids, and then the other different leagues were met by the Imperium.
Okay.
But like the League of Squats is their own league.
Yeah. and that's just the Imperium's term, and then they're like, well, can you please stop calling us squats? Like,
And
we
that's
actually
cool,
are.
like like the Imperium names things for whatever reason they name things. I always joke about like with the Tau, they name everything after fish, probably because the Tau were blue and the Imperium associates blue with water. I don't know. So yeah, they're squats. Why? Because they're squat. They're squat.
Let's get some abhuman names here. Some of the funny ones are the felinids, cat folk, long shanks, very tall.
Shanks,
yeah. Night striders, gland warriors. I guess that's not really. I don't like the other two choices a quick Google search gave me. There's some better ones out there.
Yeah,
they're pretty.
Yeah,
there's some nice descriptive ones for sure. Very on the nose.
All right, so
then we
going into the Votann. The Votann are separated into leagues, and the Leagues of Votann are the great kindred realms of the kin, ancient societies that have endured for millennia within the galactic core. Bound together by shared ancestry, commerce, warfare, and reverence for the ancestors, each league commands vast territories, fleets, holds, and armies. Though fiercely independent, the leagues share a common heritage rooted in the ancient Votann and the knowledge preserved within them. To the kin, the leagues are not merely political powers, but living inheritances, each carrying the accumulated grudges, achievements, and traditions of generations long past. So yeah, like a league isn't even like one world or five. Like leagues can be, many worlds. They can be even, I think, like kind of like how there's like some Space Marine chapters that are fleet based. I think there's even some fleet based leagues. My homebrew league is a fleet-based league.
Nice.
So they do have that flexibility. And your league could just be one world. Like leagues are also come in all different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a league is a vast political and military alliance formed from numerous kindreds that have bound themselves together through ancient oaths, shared interests, and mutual necessity. Each possesses its own customs, territories, and traditions, while contributing warriors, resources, and expertise to the greater whole. Some leagues are powerful enough to command entire regions of the galactic core, maintaining immense fleets and countless kinholds beneath their authority. Though their alliances may endure thousands of years, the kin never forget that the league ultimately exists to safeguard the kindreds and the ancestors entrusted to them. Yeah. The ancestors. So the leagues are kind of two parts. You got the Votann the kin. I mean, as we were talking about, like the dwarf type archetype. But then they also have the ancestors, which is like this AI that every kind of core world has, and it kind of runs society and makes sure everything's running properly. Obviously, everyone's doing the right genetic modifications, takes care of robots and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's not even just an AI. Some of the times it's multiple AIs as well. Like in the High Kâhl's Oath book, the main character gets, kind of sent on a mission. And I believe it's 3 Votann AIs that like communicate and like spit out this cryptic message that she has to interpret.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
There's even talk about like certain leagues have newer Votann or like more recently awoken Votann too. So I'm not sure if the lore is expanded enough that are like how new is a new Votann? Is it a new Votann because it's 200 years old? Is it 2,000 years old? So
yeah. And these Votann, these AI, they're not perfect. They definitely can develop like character traits. They themselves can develop grudges. And I think you kind of even like network with them, some of the higher ups, right? and like
Yeah,
you can kind of
the,
become a part of it and
yeah.
influence it.
Yeah, the Grimnir go into what's called a Fane, if I remember right, and that lets them
Yeah.
communicate with their Votann. And again, because they're so old, they've got so much storage, it almost kind of like overloads their systems and starts to have like data degradation. So that's
Yeah,
why they
fucking cool.
spit out these cryptic prophetic messages that the Grimnir have to interpret like a fucking oracle back in Greek days.
That's so cool. Yeah, that data loss is such a cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar operationally and conceptually to like Eldar and the Wraithbone and
The Infinity
Soul
Circuit.
Stones and the Infinity Circuit. Yeah, exactly. Very similar.
This really seems like the equivalent of like if you have your supercomputer that's been running since the Cold War and you have not yet rebooted it.
Yeah, and then the Eldar are like, no, my mind's the supercomputer. And you're like, all right, fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more into the Kâhls, who are like the main warlord type unit that you'll see if you have for like the 3 Votann army players out there. Kâhls are the great war leaders and commanders of the kin, entrusted with guiding their kindreds through battle and hardship. They are expected to possess not only exceptional martial ability, but the judgment, discipline, and endurance necessary to spend kin lives wisely. A true Kâhl must remain calm amid slaughter, measure the enemy, and recognize when victory is worth its cost. Among the leagues, the greatest Kâhls become figures of immense respect, whose deeds enter the sagas of their kindreds. Ûthar the Destined stands among the most renowned of these warriors.
Yeah. They're pretty cool, these Kâhls. A cool little model,
Yeah.
cool little void armor.
There's one below that's called Wrath of the Ancestors, I think. And it's what I want to get for my the other one has like the axe and the shield right there. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, with like this like the big bulky shield, and it's so fucking cool.
Oh, that's the
shield
Einhir champion.
gun.
Yeah.
Einhir, yes. But there was a version of it. That's what it is. There was a I think store exclusive model called
Yeah,
like,
the Ancestors'
Einhir
Wrath.
champion. Ancestors' Wrath. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that one.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Just
fucking.
I love me a big hammer and a big shield. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah. Big heavy armor, nice little. Yeah, and these guys actually feel a little more dwarven than like the kind of their standard infantry guy.
Yeah, just the armor
Little more
proportions
runes
really
and-
help to drive that home. Yeah, the runes on the armor are so good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really. Nice. Uh-oh, boys, it's happening.
Oh,
I'm
no.
reaching for my wallet.
The yellow looks so good. But
And,
I
and
like
there's a voice. There's a voice in the back of your head that just says, "Do it, do it."
there is. I told myself I wouldn't paint my Votann yellow because I painted my Tau yellow and black, and I'm painting Imperial Space Marines. I can't do a third yellow army.
Please don't. Just do orange then.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm doing dark green and dark purple.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, I'll put some more.
Yeah, we have to do
yeah.
a listener lore bonus episode on your Votann lore.
Yeah, I need to go in and add some more too. I want to try to get a little bit more beefed up with like some of your suggestions I've added in there. But anyway, so the kin are the people of the Leagues of Votann, descendants of the ancient cloning programs that created their ancestors to endure the hostile depths of the galactic core. Compact, resilient, and extraordinarily adapted to life in harsh environments, they have built a civilization based upon mining, exploration, trade, industry, and warfare. Their society is deeply rooted in memory of the ancestors and the wisdom preserved within the Votann. To be kin is to inherit both the achievements and burdens of countless generations, with every individual expected to preserve that legacy for those who will come after them.
Yeah, so these are kind of your basic boys, your grunts.
Yeah, there's your warriors.
Yeah. But not just that, also, your craftsmen, your drunks, whatever, man. They're all a society, essentially.
Yeah,
They're all
and
Berserkers.
yeah, and it's like it mentions that they're clones. Yeah, because every single Votann is a clone. And I think I was thinking about this. I think that's why them and the Ironkin get along so well, because both of them are created. One of them is created of biomatter by the Votann. One of them is created of metals by the Votann, but they are both creations of the League.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. They both kind of have like their built-in operating system, and like there's not really escaping it even. What were they called again, the robot?
The Ironkin.
Iron.
Yeah, so those are the Steel Jacks. There's, I don't know what, like, you always try to give them like a Space Marine equivalent or like some kind of equivalent.
Sure.
But yeah, the Steel Jacks, they're just like bigger, more enforcer AI bots.
Yeah, Ironkin, that's a cool term from. They got some cool ones. Like sometimes they're like these weird hover bots. Sometimes they're more humanoid. Very cool.
Yeah, they have various levels. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Nah, I was just about to reiterate that too, Fuzz. Like they're different types of Ironkin depending on the job that needs to be done, but they're more or less viewed as equals to the rest of the kindred. So it's not abominable intelligence as the Imperium would have you believe.
Yeah, it's my brother, my sister, my whatever. They're all equal. Like in the High Kâhl's Oath novel, basically like the second in command of like the main character's group is an Ironkin. Like that's who their navigator is, and basically like the most trusted person to the Kâhl.
Yeah, interesting. And then
they lament they cannot get drunk.
Not
Not get drunk on brew.
No,
nope.
It's not even worth it then. It's not even worth being a void miner. Clone skeins. So clone skeins is the inherited genetic template from which new kin are created, carrying the biological characteristics and trait passed down through generations of cloning. Though every kin is created rather than naturally born, they are not regarded as lesser artificial beings. Their clone scheme determines how much of their physical nature, while allowing individual kin to develop their own personalities, skills, identities. Different kindreds maintain distinct clone skins suited to their environments and traditions, making the genetic heritage of a kindred another part of the ancient inheritance that binds its people together. So these guys, I guess, are a good example of nature and nurture. You can make them all the same, but then they will develop their own personalities and stuff over time, and their own experiences and skills and stuff.
Yeah, and I think even within like certain, like I don't know, jobs, classes, what have you, like it is like sort of those physical characteristics are a little bit determined by like I guess what you are supposed to do. Like I don't think there's full determinism by it, but if you're going to be created
a happy or a grumpy mechanic,
well, if you're gonna be part of like the mining guild, they're gonna have your body be better to survive like in space and mining asteroids, as opposed to if you're gonna be like a Grimnir, so like the wizards, functionally of kin society, you might be built different.
Yeah, that kind of brings me to the question of like how much variation could there be? Like, do they have a height limit? Like, no. Anything over 5 feet is abomination. We don't allow that. Like, because you were saying that some of them can turn their skin to like almost stone, like kind of this hard, leathery. How much variation?
Patches, and that's the thing is like it is, up to, I guess for right now, it's up to the imagination. I'm sure they're never going to put like a number on the Greater Thurian League has 50 different clone schemes or whatever.
Yeah. Like they almost have their own, like it's almost like their own abhumans within, the kin, where it's like, man, they might need just like, man, we keep needing somebody to reach something off the top shelf. Well,
I see it as more of like it's the kin's version of gene seed that like determines some of your physical characteristics. And I guess like in theory they could like we need a 6 foot tall, 6 foot tall kin. But that's also why you've got 6 foot tall steel jacks. That's what your iron kin are for.
Mhm.
Yeah, I suppose. Hey, yeah. So they must have like a within the limits template that they stick to.
I think so. Yeah, they may have had other ones. Maybe like they've discarded them because, again, like being in the galactic core, it's such higher density and gravity that like these are irrelevant for forever. So we just get rid of those.
Yeah.
And I think even there could be like lost clone schemes too that you have to they go discover. Could be part of your homebrew kin lore or what have you, or what could be a plot device for a novel.
I mean, you can see a little bit of a difference between like your basic infantry kin who are like really, really squat, but then like you have your Hearthguard kin or your Einherjar champions or your Grimnirs. They are slightly larger, so there is a little bit of not necessarily a hierarchy, but there is a certain preference.
A shorter archy, I think.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, the clone schemes definitely make it very, very interesting what those limits could be. It makes my mind just want to make some really short ones, some really tall ones, some furry ones, perhaps with cat ears. All types.
I mean, you could do like a hairy Votann, like they're just like covered in fur, and that's their clone scheme because they live on an ice world. Whatever you want to do.
Little yetis.
Tiny little yetis. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
Welcome to the Himalayas. Oh man. Okay. Enough about Monsters Inc. Ûthar the Destined. So let's see what his history has to say. Ûthar the Destined was born within the kindred of Votann upon Obsyd Gate, beneath omens unlike any seen before. On the day of his creation, the Votann issued a spontaneous prophecy in ancient data scripts, while the Hold's forges awakened without command and fashioned a magnificent plasma blade. The Grimnir traced the prophecy to Uthar's crucible, and before his first day had ended, he was proclaimed the Destined and entrusted with the blade of the ancestors. From that moment, Ûthar devoted himself to become worthy of the burden placed upon him, enduring hardship, mastering war, and gathering victories across countless campaigns. His path eventually led him into the Battle of Örgvayr. We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure this out at some point. Where he commanded the oath bands of Votann against the forces of chaos, rescued imperiled kin and Chthonian miners, and slew the World Eater, Lord Hakatar, upon the Chasm of Embers. I can hear Toasty screaming in the void right now.
Me too. I'm about to punch my screen. Fuck.
Yet despite his growing legend, Ûthar remained troubled by the prophecy that made him who he is. He cannot know what great duty awaits him, only that when the hour comes, he must be ready. For the Destined do not seek glory in his fate. He seeks only to fulfill it, whatever the cost.
Cool. He really isn't that much of a standout character. I always have a hard time finding which one he is.
I think part of it is because his model is what comes with the not the combat patrol, but like one of the the army boxes. And so like you have that same base and people are gonna, it's either Ûthar the Destined or make your own call. So it's part it's part of why there's so many different variations out there. It's hard to pick out, I think, just from that tabletop perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And they normally don't do that where they take a name character then make it like a variation kit. So that's interesting.
I think just because it was so new and he was at the time when they came out the only named character, and so they wanted to. That's why they had it like in the box. But also, if you didn't want to, if you wanted to do your own homebrew league, or because he's part of the Great Arthurian League, I believe, and so say you were going to do, the Emer conglomerate, and you don't want to do the green armor for him, they wanted to give you those options.
Mm-hmm. Not entirely true about different sprues. We were talking Kâhl of Demenfi earlier in the chat. Because all the greater demons of chaos, they all share the same sprue between the general model and then the named greater demon. So you can choose if you want a Lord of Change or if you want Kairos Fate Weaver, so on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then those guys all have their breakdowns of greater demons. Like the Bloodthirsters have like 3 different types. Or
Those are good episodes.
Cool.
I did like, and again, benefit of joining the live stream for an audio-based podcast, seeing the pictures when you were looking through pictures of Ûthar the Destined, his picture from the 40K Tacticus mobile game. It was a close-up headshot, and you really got to see the rocky texture of his bald head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a cracked volcano, but healed.
Yeah.
Fuck. Nice. Yeah, and then like you do see this guy too where I see sometimes where they're like blue or like deep gray. This guy turned out to be a robot. But yeah, you could really go with some wild color skins like red dwarves or cool.
Yeah, like I have him, I have his model from the battle box built as him. Because I bought it secondhand and it came that way, but I'm not gonna paint him as Ûthar. I'm gonna do my own thing with him.
Yeah, you have to. You always have to. Cool.
But where did this guy come from? What are his origins? I'm gonna tell you. So Ûthar was born to the Great Arthurian League's kindred of Votann. Like we said, a league is made up of multiple kindred within the hold of Obsyd Gate. Upon a day remembered thereafter for strange and portentous omens. Within the fane, the Grimnir stood before the Votann as its ancient machine spirit suddenly stirred and issued a spontaneous screed of prophecy. The message was fractured and obscure, rendered in data scripts so ancient that few kin could still comprehend them. The Grimnir argued over its meaning, yet one truth endured. Amongst that day's newly cloned, one had been marked for a task of great consequence. And then the Hold's Forge awakened. Without command from any Brokir, its mechanisms turned and labored, producing a magnificent plasma blade. At the same hour, the clues hidden within the Votann's prophecy led the Grimnir to the crucible of the newborn Ûthar. Before his first day had ended, the meaning seemed clear. Ûthar was proclaimed the Destined, and the miraculous blade of the ancestors was placed in his hands. From that moment onward, he has lived beneath the weight of that ancient expectation. Knowing that the day of his purpose would eventually come, Ûthar devoted himself to being worthy of it. He explored, soldiered, and endured hardships enough to make even a Chthonian berserk falter. Through every trial, fortune had followed him with uncanny persistence. Some kin claim the ancestors guide his steps. Others believe some obscure virtue of his clone scheme grants him favor. Ûthar himself offers no answer. Whatever the truth, neither fortune nor prophecy alone won his victories. His endurance, discipline, and hard-earned mastery have carried him through countless wars. To those who serve beside him, Ûthar can sometimes seem cold and even cruel. They understand the burden he carries. A great duty awaits him, though none can say when it shall come. His grim humor and unassuming manner conceal much of that colder nature, as well as a doubt he keeps buried deep. For the prophecy has never ceased to trouble him. Ûthar has wondered whether the Grimnir truly understood the Votann's words and whether he himself can ever be prepared for the unknowable task promised within them. Yet doubt does not absolve duty. He is kin, and kin endure. Long ago, Ûthar swore that whatever destiny demanded of him, he would face it without yielding and make his ancestors proud. That's what I'm saying. He's this little guy doing his best. Like,
doing his best.
Just doing his best.
Not letting anything go to his head. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like, this kind of shows how even if you make a bunch of the same clone scheme, like the AI, the Votann could mark you somehow, and we don't quite know how. Often when you're doing like character generations and RPGs and stuff, you get that luck, luck stat, and you never know what the fuck it does. But I always max out hoping for the best, and maybe that's what the Votann did as well.
And I mean, like, I feel like it's also something that is relatable just to people of that like weight of trying to be good enough to live up to the expectations of your family and your friends and the people around you, let alone because your name has destiny in it and fucking AI God said so or what, like, imagine if you were named, Gerald Cure of Cancer. You better fucking grow up to cure cancer, or you're a piece of shit, Gerald. What are you doing?
How old are you, Gerald? And you still haven't done it? Worthless.
This is like that whole chosen undead debate in the Dark Souls community. Is just like, are you the chosen undead because are you named the chosen undead because you did these great things, or did you do these great things because you were the chosen undead? Exactly. Who knows?
Yeah, I like it. It is interesting, like usually in most universes, if you're like a clone or something, you're usually prone to like bad luck or like accidents or like just not a long life or something. Like you just degrade quicker.
Yeah, that's a common thing. Yeah, you see that. Yeah, just every iteration is just somehow worse, but they don't have that.
They don't have that. And if anything, it seems like they have the ability to give it that little bit of boost if they need to, and like almost put like, it might just be as simple as like token generation sees the future with like, it's like generating 50 different words. Oh, this is the future. He's destined to do that. It might just be that, or there might be something a little more that they're putting into it.
Well, I think it's because they're using cloned as not like making an exact copy, but more cloned as like vat grown. Like I honestly, it's a little bit more like the fucking gas mask guys. Names are really hard for me today. And I don't know why. The Krieg
beers deep.
Yes. God. But yeah, like like the Krieger vat grown, they're not necessarily clones, but they're grown from genetic material into people.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where they have that like lack of degradation, because it's not like they're not making copies of Uther and then another Uthar and then another Uthar, another Mark and then another Mark, another Mark.
Yeah.
There's Mark, and then the next one might share some of your genetic material, but it's especially with those clone schemes, it adds that variation in it.
Yeah, because I guess that's the other thing that they are doing. Like, since they're actually backgrowing them, they probably do take like a male clone scheme and a female one, and then you could combine those. And then
I could see something like that. Yeah,
that long-term diversity of not degradation, because like even their Votann, their AI, it degrades, so like they have to be doing something, and maybe that's just it. You're like, they really are kind of more splicing genes than like cloning.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like 3-hour-old Uthar getting like picked up out of his vat chamber, and it's like, here. And here's your birthday sword that
the plasma sword of destiny.
This is making me think of like making me think of like more double nerding here, Jurassic Park, because of how they make up all the dinosaurs. They're basically cloning DNA from frozen amber, which scientifically inaccurate, but that's neither here nor there. And then come the time period of Jurassic World, like you're basically splicing different dinosaur DNAs to create the uber dinosaur that's going to attract all the
DNA.
Yeah.
Dinos all the way down. So you're telling me we could turn one of these guys into a dinosaur if we get the right clone scheme?
I did see somebody making their own dinosaur army because of the new Exodites. And I think they just basically took the Votann vehicle. I think they took a Sagittar and like fucking put it on the back of a Brachiosaurus toy. And it looked really cool. But yeah, I do Dino Riders now.
I'll do you another one. Someone wanted the Lizardman or Seraphon from Warhammer Fantasy, put them in 40K. So basically took all of the Seraphon units and then just mashed together Leagues of Votann units. And so you get sci-fi Lizardman.
Oh,
it's really, really cool.
Okay. Yeah. I got this first, so I'll flash this up. Come on. Yeah, okay. Watch out for this Dino Rider. I'm fucking into that.
Yes.
Nice.
I think I am. Yeah, like, and you want to pick more of the heavy armored dinosaurs, like the Triceratops, or like, yeah, the Stegosaurus with all the kind of spines. Anything kind of like armored.
My favorite dinosaur
Um,
is the Ankylosaurus, the one that has like the armor and the
Oh,
club tail on
yeah.
it. It's such a good
The walking tank.
yes.
Yeah, perfect for to mount a dwarf on top. I think AOS even has one of those guys out there. So
Oh, sweet.
somebody
Have to
get
look.
on it, please.
I'm on it. Let's see here.
Well, I'll go into the Great Arthurian League. The Great Arthurian League stands amongst the oldest and most powerful of the Leagues of Votann. It holds scattered throughout the ancient depths of the galactic core. Its kin are fiercely mercenary yet relentless in the pursuit of exploration, resource acquisition, and conquest. With scores of allied kindreds and vast kin hosts ready to enforce its will, the League embodies much of what it means to be kin: disciplined, pragmatic, and unyielding. Among the original leagues founded in the distant ages, the Great Arthurian League has endured where lesser powers have fallen. Dozens of kindred swear allegiance to its banner, while others are drawn into its ranks with every passing Terran decade. Its strength is immense, for it commands the combined might of a military, mercantile, and industrial power, without equal among many of the kin. The warriors of the Great Arthurian League are disciplined and formidable, advancing with grim unity that leaves little room for weakness. They do not seek glory through reckless deeds. War is a calculation, and victory is the only acceptable conclusion. They're methodical, oh, I hated that word sometimes. Do you guys have words that like you can literally never say? Like, I know what the word is, but I got to hear somebody say it first.
Yeah,
A
that's
pragmatist.
happened a time or two.
Yeah, pragmaticism has become a model to other leagues. Above all, the Great Arthurian League remains the kin virtues of trade, prospecting, and honoring of the ancestors. Wealth is gathered, worlds are claimed, and enemies are broken, all in the service of those who came before. It is this relentless mercenary spirit, tempered by duty and tradition, that has made the League both feared and respected across the stars. Cool. Yeah. So this is like your what do you call that? Like your upfront, your classic, like your standard league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are basically the box art. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the Ultramarines of the Leagues of Votann.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they're the biggest. And yet that pragmatism from the leagues is one thing that I thought was really neat. Like they basically, if they don't think it's going to be worth the price they're going to pay, they just won't do it. If it's going to cost too many kin lives to retake this fortress, well, I guess it's theirs now.
Yeah, like there are no like last stands. You hear about Space Marine last stands. You're like, dude, you had 400 years of experience and you could have got on the plane. Like that's
Right.
such a waste.
You could have got off the plane.
Yeah. Yeah, there's none of that. Like, I remember when we did the Leagues
Oh my
episode,
God.
they were talking about flying through the void, and any miscalculation could cost the entire fleet, because then you're just like, there's no resources in the void, only what you have until you get to the next spot. So yeah, that like the ability to solve for new problems, it's like it's built into them for sure.
Oh, definitely. And they're like pretty much all the kin are very stingy with like using up their resources, because in the galactic core, it's a lot more dangerous. So you got to have everything on hand to be able to survive, both for you and for everyone on board with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I think that's also like cool about the kin is, like I said, they're different, or the leagues are, they're different sizes because they have different amounts of kindred, and that will also fluctuate because they'll absorb other kindred. Say like a small league gets, annihilated, a kindred from that league might want to go join the Great Arthurian League, and all the different leagues have their own rules about, what a kindred has to do to join them. So, the size of a league will also fluctuate as time goes on.
But yeah, like that's a great point, that it is that like as long as you abide by the rules, there is that flexibility. yeah, there's that unified whole of the Votann where it's like, yeah, we're all kind of in this together ultimately.
Exactly. It's all for the
but-
sake of kin survival, not necessarily just your league survival, but kin survival.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep, and I just posted some pictures to our chat with the Age of Sigmar dinosaurs and magma dragons.
Oh, the
So-
magma dragons would be good
so
too.
good. Oh my gosh.
And the cool thing is, those magma dragons are part of a dwarf army faction, so you
Right.
could easily make that work.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's pull that guy up. Yeah, that guy would be sweet for sure to fucking mount a dwarf on.
Yep.
Or
And that would be
Y1.
perfect.
Couple.
Oh yeah.
The skinks, they're about the same size as a kin, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you could mount take the guns from one of the vehicles and mount it on that platform there. That works.
You get it, yeah. Yeah.
You got some work to do
Now-
on your homebrew faction there, Fuzz.
Damn it. Back to the drawing board.
Gotta make another homebrew faction.
I'm already setting my custom Votann league, so
Oh, nice.
Dug in and you'll never change.
yeah, just like your classic dwarf.
I forget if you sent me anything on your custom league. We should exchange league information if we haven't already. I forget.
I don't have much other than they're called the Odin Syndicate, and they're basically think Assassin's Creed Syndicate with the British gangs or whatnot, and then they're an offshoot of the Emir Conglomerate.
Okay.
So,
Nice. Okay.
so that's
Well,
all I got so
right.
far.
Nice.
Okay, but enough about homebrew Votann here. Let's talk about the Kindred of Vorten. The Kindred of Vorten is an ancient kindred of the Greater Thurian League, its ancestral hold world being the planet Obsyd Gate. It is upon this world that the kin of Vorten have endured across generations, and it is from these holds that the famed Kâhl Ûthar the Destined first emerged. His name is now bound forever to that of his kindred. When the Battle of Örgvayr threatened to consume the world of Torg, it was the kin host of Vorten that furnished the oath bands beneath Uthar's command. Their purpose was to recover the imperiled personnel of the Chthonian mining guild from the fires of war. Yet the kindred would not have taken the field so boldly had Ûthar not convinced its hearthspake to abandon mere defense. For the forces of chaos poured from Warpstorm Örgvayr, and Ûthar judged that waiting behind fortifications would only surrender the initiative to the enemy. Thus, with grim certainty, the kindred struck onward into the storm. The decision would become another chapter in the growing legend of the Destined, proving once more that when Ûthar sees the path before him, few among the kin possess the will to deny it. And one quick thing for our dear listeners, the Chthonian Mining Guild or the Chthonian Berserker units, that is different from the world of Chthоnia that Horus was found on. So no relation to the Horus heresy, just to make that clear.
Right. And also the Chthonian Mining Guild, I think, is one of the few things that is cross leagues. Like they're their own separate thing. Like each league and kindred will have Chthonian miners, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Were you saying something, Mark? You were muted earlier.
Yeah, what does a Chthonian mean? Is it a real?
It's a Greek. I think it's a Greek term that basically just means underground.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, underground or
Yeah.
underworld, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
Hades and Poseidon were considered chthonic gods because they were associated with the earth or beneath it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
and then the Warpstorm Örgvayr in kin just means the ogre. So they named this giant Warpstorm the ogre.
That's cool.
I love it.
Cool.
Get out of my kinhold!
Fuck. Oh no. Oh,
Oh, you ruined it.
fuck.
Um,
Warpstorms
so
are like
fo-
onions.
Here's something that can maybe make it a little bit better. We do have one attributed quote to Ûthar the Destined.
Cool.
Each of us is wrought for a purpose. It is every kin's duty to meet that purpose. The ancestors expect nothing less. And that's it.
Cool.
I like it.
Nice. Simple, direct. I
It's
feel like I know what
it's
to
very
do.
kin saying you're all built for a reason and you have to do that thing.
All right, boss. I was
Do
looking
your
at this
duty.
artwork. It's pretty cool. These massive hover tanks,
like-
hover
yeah.
fortresses.
Yeah, that looks like some sort of like mining apparatus. Reminds me of like Star Wars mining vehicles.
Yeah,
It's real
More
cool.
double nerding. It's just making me think of the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone War cartoon where they have it's like the seismic miner or something.
Mhm.
Where it's just like a giant vessel that just hovers above the ground and just like pounds on the ground like a hammer.
Oh, it's so good.
It's very useful, Gerald. You just don't understand. Okay, very practical tool. Yeah.
All right,
very
so we're
cool.
going to get into Obsyd Gate. Obsyd Gate is the ancient homeworld of the Greater Thurian League, standing within the deep reaches of the galactic core. In the northern marches of Thurian space, it commands a vital kin trade route, its gates opening upon the endless commerce of the kin. It is the ancestral hold of the kindred of Votann, and a place already marked by fate. For upon Obsyd Gate was born Ûthar the Destined, famed Kâhl and hero of the Thurian kin. The world that forged him remains bound to his legend, and its name is spoken wherever the tale of the Destined is remembered. From its ancient halls, Ûthar first stepped into destiny that had seemingly awaited him since birth. So this is, so like you've got the leagues, and then within the leagues, there are the kindred, and then within the kindred, they have hold worlds. And so this being one of the ancient hold worlds of the Thurian League and the Votann kindred, this is probably one of the earlier worlds, probably founded by the kin settlers when they first got into the galactic core.
Yeah.
It is old.
Do we know how old Ûthar is? I don't think I ever read anything. But there must be a reference that says like he's ancient or something like that, you know?
I say, yeah, Gerald's got the codex right now. I don't remember reading anything that says how old he is. I don't know if they've gotten that far into kin lore yet. Let's see.
Yeah, and like that was such a easy, like quick descriptor word, like he's old or ancient or young, but yeah, maybe it's a little too much, too deep. We'll find out. We do know a couple other things about him, some known exploits. Ûthar has taken part in countless battles across the stars, but the Battle of Örgvayr stands among the most renowned, where he led the oath bands of Votann against the forces of chaos and broke through the storm to rescue the imperiled kin. In every war he has entered, victory has seemed to follow in his wake, as though the battle itself has been laid before him long before his arrival. The Dread Star campaign, among the many wars in which Uthar's name was carried into legend. The slaying of Gorbrak, the Iron Beast, whose strength could not withstand the blade of the Destined. The destruction of the escorts guarding the Imperial freighter convoy infected by a self-replicating technovirus, ensuring its corruption could never reach the kin territory. The helpless freighters were driven into the wilderness of space. The deployment of cog-piloted metabolic toxin torpedoes against the exodite world of Thoravash after its Eldar refused evacuation, ensuring the world's resources would fall to the kin rather than remain beyond their grasps. Nice. Listen, we're going to melt your world whether you like it or not, but here's your heads up. We're doing it tomorrow.
Hey, that's better. That's better heads up
totally.
than say a Drakari force. So
That's something that that is something we talked about in the kin episode. I can't remember if I was on it or not, but the kin basically they'll go to a world and be like, we have claim on this world's resources by kin law, by the League's law. And it doesn't matter what the world's laws are. They're just like, well, we have mining rights here. you should leave. And the Eldar refused to leave. So to the kid, it's like, well, we warned you. It's kind of like get to double nerd if anyone has read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. When the Vorgons come through and destroy Earth, and like the couple humans who survive are like, why did you do this? Like, well, we filed the paperwork on the paperwork planet or whatever. You could have gone and checked and asked us not to. Never mind that Earth isn't capable of doing that.
You couldn't check. Yeah. Like this says a lot where it's like it's not personal to the dwarves necessarily. Like
exactly. It's just business.
It doesn't start personal. It's just business.
Correct. Yeah. Quickly, you're talking about like how old is Uthar and like how like a little bit. I was thinking how long did Kin live? So the Mritan Damergot, who's the main character in High Kâhl's Oath, she it stated she is over 100 orbits, at least away from her kindred's hold ship. So if you take that as roughly 100 years, she's over 100. But she is stated to be exceptionally old, or especially old for a kin. So I feel like around 100 years old. Yeah, but then again, it's like, is that based on like how does that compare to like a Terran standard orbit and what?
Yeah, what the fuck's an orbit?
Yeah.
And
I'm sure that depends from hold to hold too.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah. The only thing the Codex gives on Uthar's age, it doesn't give a specific number, but it just says Uthar served numerous times as High Kâhl in periods when his kindred's Botanic Council was convened. His considered wisdom and no less his craggy, glowering countenance carried huge weight amongst his own kindred and others of the Great Arthurian League. He also became fitted as a consummate war leader across other leagues and led armies of kin from hold worlds beyond count. So...
I guess I guess the one way I kind of was looking at when we first started this character is almost like a Eldrand Uthway guy that we did that episode where it's like this 10,000 year ancient character, but like it doesn't even sound like he would be a couple hundred years old. Maybe is that safe to say?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could give them your normal fantasy dwarf lifespan. So yeah, like he could be 100 years old. He's probably not over 200. I mean, he could be fucking 80.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Maybe we'll get some more on that later on in the new codexes. I don't know.
I asked AI real quick, so don't put any weight on this, but they say between 300 to 500 years, several centuries. But
I mean, he certainly looks the part.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, kind of like with humans, who knows what technology they can have that they can use to extend somebody's life, especially, our super special boy.
Yeah, like they're master geneticists essentially. Like they definitely probably can stop aging now at this point if they want to. Yeah.
I mean, if you could have a governor of a planet in the Imperium who is 500 years old and looks like he's 45, certainly the kin with their honestly, truthfully superior technology to the Imperium could do something similar if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But it might be one of those resource intensive things of they can do it, but they can't do it to everybody.
Yeah.
And also meta fact, but like just like what Mark y'all were talking about with the Anva episode of it's a named character, so they're not going to kill him off anytime soon. He's got to have that plot armor.
Yeah, he's as old as the plot
part of his war gear.
It's part of his war gear. Goddamn. All right, well, let's talk about the biggest battle he's been a part of.
The Battle of Örgvayr. The Battle of Örgvayr was the great conflict that followed the birth of the Great Rift, when the warp storm Örgvayr opened up upon the northeastern reaches of the Great Arthurian space and unleashed chaos upon the kin. With Torg overrun by world eaters and the Purge, Uthar the Destined led kindred of of Vortin's oath bands in a counteroffensive, fighting through void battles, brutal surface engagements, and evacuation of trapped Chthonian miners. He ultimately slew the World Eater Lord Hakatar upon the Chasm of Embers before ordering a disciplined withdrawal from Torg. Though the kin suffered grievous losses, Uthar's forces rescued their people and much of their valuable resources, making the battle a costly but decisive victory and one of the defining campaigns of the Destined's legend. So,
Yeah, taking out a corrupted Space Marine champion like that is phenomenal. Great way to start.
not just a corrupted Space Marine champion, but a freaking World Eater. Like,
Yeah, I guess that, yeah. if you're gonna melee a Space Marine and it turns out to be a World Eater Lord, yeah, that's pretty good.
yep.
Coming in at 4'10", weighing 50 pounds, Ûthar. Across from him stands the World Eater, coming in at 9 feet, 800 pounds out of armor. Reach. Yeah, seems like a fair
Oh my
fight.
God! Here's Ûthar the Destined with a steel chair.
No, the chair of
Ûthar the
destiny.
Destined with the chair of the ancestors.
Goodness.
Oh.
Oh gosh, it's a step ladder match.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Anyway, so Uthar's destiny may have at last revealed itself with the coming of the Great Rift, the cataclysm that shook the Leagues of Votann to their foundations. Holds vanished within the newborn storms of the warp. Ancient trade routes were severed. Kindreds scattered and territories held for countless Terran generations were abandoned. Across the galactic core, the kin were forced from their ancestral domains and driven toward distant regions where the tides of the Empyrean offered some measure of stability. Yet the rift brought more than upheaval. It awakened old enemies and summoned new wars, setting the kin upon paths from which there could be no retreat. Among the many storms born within the galactic core, one would become especially terrible. The kin refused to name the Great Rift as a single phenomenon, for they believed such superstition granted needless power to an already terrible threat. Instead, each great warp storm was named and judged as its own enemy, a distinct peril to be endured, understood, and, if possible, overcome. Upon the northeastern frontier of Greater Thurian space, one such storm opened with dreadful suddenness. The kin named it Örgvayr, a word roughly rendered in High Gothic as the ogre. In its first moments, the Void Strider kindred and Lakers kindred were consumed. Their panspectral rays gave only the briefest warning before the storm swallowed their holds. Those who escaped came as broken flotillas, limping from the edges of Örgvayr in the days that followed. Their survivors spoke of worlds reduced to madness, of holds where reason itself had died, and of howling demons stalking the ruins of what had once been kin civilization. And then came the Chaos war fleets. Baroque warships and monstrous space hulks emerged from the storm and descended upon the Greater Thurian systems bordering Örgvayr. With every passing solar day, more servants of chaos poured from the maelstrom. What had first seemed a catastrophe became something greater, an invasion whose hunger now threatened the League itself. Those kindreds directly threatened faced the ancient choice known to every warrior: stand and endure, or retreat and surrender what had been entrusted to them. Through hardened Lascom relays, the hearthspakes of the Deep Rock kindred, Deep Rock, the kindred of Vortinn, right? Oh, God, such a worthy installation into kindred lore that there is a Deep Rock kindred.
Yeah.
The kindred of Vortinn, called Starbreaker kindred, and kindred Crimson too exchanged their final counsel. They chose to stand. Within their fanes, the Grimnir reached into communion with the Greater Thurian Votann, carrying word of their plight and seeking the wisdom of the ancestors. Merchant vessels and scout craft plunged into the warp, bearing their pleas to neighboring kindreds. Until the will of the Votann was known, the threatened kindreds would hold their ground. If relief never came, they would remain until defiance itself became impossible. And while the kin made ready for reckoning, chaos advanced. The armies of the great enemy burned a path through the stars toward the Thurian holdworlds. Among those who stood in their path was the kindred of Vorten, and amongst its warriors stood Uthar the Destined. Perhaps the prophecy had not promised a distant future after all. Perhaps it had been waiting for Örgvayr.
Cool. So this is kind of like one of the moments in the galactic history that will kind of exist past any of the empires that kind of exist at the time. Like the galaxy has been ripped in half. This is a huge event, just not for, just every race, but like the galaxy.
Yeah, and I think in lore, this is what drove the kindred to sort of reconnect with the Imperium. Like this is what drove them away from the galactic core, and so that's why they started encountering the Imperium and the Eldar again, stuff like that. Other species.
Cool. Kind of started drifting away. Because if you look at the map, it kind of went from the Eye of Terror down to the Maelstrom, and then down to some storm down in the corner. I forget what it's called, but yeah, so it kind of ripped right through their empire.
I just love the idea. Where is that quote? The line about when the warp storms took over. Where that reason itself had died. Fuck, that's so good.
It goes hard.
Yeah, especially for a race like the Votann, where that's pretty much reason and logic. That's what you get there.
Yeah. I'm seeing the pictures of the models that you pulled up, Mark, and I love the Votann or the Leagues, the kin models, but for some reason that Mimir strategist really makes me mad.
Is it the fucking fingers? Is that?
No. Okay. Everyone that's seen the stream, look at this. Burn it in your mind. Okay, Mark. Now look up Tech Priest Manipulus. Look up Tech Priest Manipulus.
All right. Oh yes, another little. Come on, that's
same fucking pose.
Yeah, don't you have that pose?
It's the Mr. Burns fingers. Excellent.
Yes, excellent. I like it.
It looks good on the Tech Priest model, but why did you have to copy the homework Leagues of Votann?
I don't
know why I'm so mad about that.
Does it show that you can also alternately do it with him holding a book or something? Is that what that was?
This book is kind of off this.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, it's being held by some grippers on his belt. Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, so the counter offensive at Torg. By fortune, or perhaps by the unseen hand of destiny, Uthar the Destined had returned to Obsyd Gate, ancestral hold of the kindred of Vorten, shortly before the coming war. There he stood before the hearse spake and delivered his counsel, with the certainty for which he become renowned for. The kindred could no longer simply gather behind their walls and await the coming of chaos. To do so would surrender the initiative to the enemy and leave distant facilities, precious resources, and kin to the mercy of the invader. The word of the Destined carried the weight of the prophecy. The Herspake accepted his judgment, and the kin host was divided into oath bands. Some remained behind to guard Obsyd Gate, while the remainder marched forth beneath Uthar and the Thorian heroes. Their purpose was not merely to fight, but to deny the enemy every advantage. Strategic resources would be evacuated, kin and Iron Kid would be rescued, whatever could not be saved would be destroyed, so that nothing of worth might strengthen the foe. Among these oath bands marched Uthar. His path led the kin to the world of Torg, a place already scarred by generations of deep core mining. Torg was a brutal world of jagged stone, exposed magma, and convulsing supervolcanoes, and immense harvester fortresses, all choking beneath poisonous fumes. It was a world forged by hardship, and now it stood before the coming storm. Renegade warships already hung in its orbit, their holds disgorging heretic Astartes upon the surface. Mutated warriors of the Purge, the blood-maddened world eaters of Khorne, had seized Torg's void docks, while bands of Chthonian guild miners remained trapped within their harvester fortresses. The situation was dire. Uthar did not falter. He invoked the Eye of the Ancestors and surveyed the battlefield, weighing every threat, every avenue of escape, and every life that might yet be preserved. Then the battle plan was formed. Orders were given, and the oath band moved. Whether by skill, by fortune, or by the ancient destiny that had marked his birth, Uthar had arrived when he needed. The prophecy had begun to take shape upon Torg. Cool. Yeah, so the planet looks like his face.
Correct, bro. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Got him.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be a hard fight. I mean, not just for the kin, but even for like the world eaters. They're going up against. They've trapped the Chthonian miners, but like those guys are swinging plasma axes and gravity hammers and
yeah. They're like, you trapped us in a corner. That's where we like to fight. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I imagine the world here is like fighting the berserkers because they put up a good fight.
Yeah, I bet the Chthonian berserkers and the world eaters would, if they weren't mortal enemies, have a beer after a fucking good brawl.
Yeah, that's those guys right here.
Yeah. Those fucking plasma axes, man. Those just look so good. Those look so cool.
Yeah.
For the dude rocking the power fist like he's in a boxing match.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What are those guys called? Chthonian berserkers.
Berserkers. Yeah.
Yeah, they also came in like that first Leagues of Votann battle box.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
Those tubes are like the bane of every Votann player's existence, for what I've seen. Like I bought my kin secondhand, and so they're already put together. But like seeing on Reddit when people are talking about pain in the ass models for Votann to put together, those tubes on the back of them are always high on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Just do not fit right.
Yeah, the axes are tight. They're definitely not just like your standard power sword.
No.
Seems like it's definitely like, yeah, plasma, actual energy.
Mm-hmm.
Tight. So we move into the void battle above
All
Torg.
right. In the void above Torg, the warships of Uthar's Oath Band met the vessels of chaos beneath the command of Voidmaster Hemik. Conversion beam batteries burned through the darkness while drill torpedoes tore into the Grand Cruiser Abomination, leaving its hull grievously wounded. The violence of the kin assault was such that the other Chaos vessels abandoned their bombardment of the world below to confront them. I love that. I love that. Hemik commanded her small fleet with cold precision, answering every attack with greater punishment than her own vessels endured, and holding the void against the servants of chaos.
Oh, that's so fucking good. Just like shooting a spaceship with drill torpedoes just to rip through its hull is just so fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if these drill torpedoes are like mining equipment, but I like to think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these are like drill torpedoes. These aren't boarding torpedoes that like disgorge. It seems like, yeah, they're like drill through the fucking ship. Like
maybe that's what it is. Yeah, they drill through the hull and then explode more inside the ship.
Sure.
I'm thinking of like a small, sleeker version of like those drillers from the Horus Heresy back in the Stardy's Armory episodes.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. I was trying to look up like kin ships at one point when I was doing my homebrew league because they're a fleet-based league, and there is unfortunately not a ton. There's a little bit of kin fleet like ships out there, but not a lot. And I'm hoping that we keep getting a little bit more and a little bit more.
This is kind of related to that. I hear that they're not doing flyers anymore in 40K. Like they're slowly getting away from them. Like Primaris won't ever get flyers. Votann never got any flyers. It seems like the last like bunch of factions never got any flyers, and that they're drifting away. But that just might be whatever.
Yeah, I think I'd heard. I thought they had just done some new stuff with flyers in 10th edition too, to then like take it away. I don't know the tabletop of it very well, so like I could be wrong, but I've especially seeing recently people talking about their models that have now been put into Legends. I believe the Thunderhawks did, and some other flyers I saw from some people's Space Marine armies.
Yeah, and like that kind of makes sense, like Firstborn stuff, but still,
that's what it was. A lot of Firstborn stuff, like the Firstborn Dreadnoughts, I think, got moved to Legends. A lot of the Firstborn vehicles got moved to Legends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking like, what would a Votann flyer look like? And like, yeah, then you're talking about like their void ship and stuff. Here's a pretty cool image of like one of their planets.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, it reminds me of like some planet-eating shit from Transformers or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like we don't know how big this planet is, but still, like that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
This is
even if it's an asteroid.
Scale. Yeah.
It's still enormous.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But the stuff that was put to Legends was, as far as the flyers, Stormhawk Interceptor, Storm Talon gunship, Storm Raven gunship, and the Hammerfall bunker. That was a Primaris era thing that they just shelved off the Legends. Interesting.
Well, these are kind of cool Votann ships. They kind of still have that Imperial design, but then definitely Dwarven.
Yeah, I like the runes on those. I hope those are official. Like just because I would like them to be official. And if they're not, they look good.
Yeah, they look fucking great. Very cool.
Yeah. Time to
look at the Battlefield Gothic subreddit.
Yeah. All right. So now to the battle for Torg. So Noak's Hernkin Pioneer Band, supported by light gunships and rugged Sagittar ATVs, swept through the high passes of the Fumarok range and struck the World Eaters from behind. Their attacks came without warning, swift and merciless, guided by pan-spectral scanners that pierced the poisonous murk of Torg. Enraged by these wounds, Khornate Berserkers abandoned their assault upon Harvester Fortress 5 and pursued Noak into the deadly mountain passes. Meanwhile, Ûthar the Destined divided his strength among several oath bands and descended upon the Shatterfields in a massive drop offensive. At their head, Ûthar drove an armored spearhead against the World Eaters of Chaos, Lord Hakatar, while Kâhlsvek, Thurkan, and her oath band met the warriors of the Purge head-on. Above them, orbital fire fell like wrath from the heavens until the battlefield became a maelstrom of close-range firefights and brutal assaults. While the enemy was fixed and battled to the north, Grimnir Khön led an elite force of Einhir and Hearthkin towards Harvester Fortress 2, 3, and 4. The Chthonians were evacuated with Guildkin and vast stores of raw materials loaded aboard Hekaton land fortresses and their armored carriages. But the enemy saw the withdrawal. Urthak's Skullripper answered with a mass teleport of World Eaters Chaos Terminators, severing Khön and her guardians from the retreating kin. Many Chthonian berserkers turned back, choosing death rather than abandoning their living ancestor, yet Khön could not be saved. Those who survived carried the loss into legend. The remaining Chthonians and Hearthkin formed the grudge band of Khön, swearing an oath written in blood. Urthak's Skullripper would be avenged, or they would perish in the attempt. God, love a good grudge.
Love a good grudge.
You killed my boss. Fuck you.
My boss. You say fuck you or thank you?
No.
Very cool. I like the little details we can pick up, like they do drop offensives and stuff. Do they have drop pods? I wonder. They must, eh?
I don't. Again, like there's not
Yeah,
a ton. You know, they're just going to eventually be getting their third codex.
Yeah.
In the book, I think it is more just landing ships as opposed to drop pods. I wouldn't be surprised if they did have some sort of drop pod. There could be a drop offensive where they, you know, have fucking jet thrusters, like backpacks to
sure.
do drop offensives on. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they're up to stuff, and we will find out more.
Yeah.
Cool. But the Duel of Hekatar. Let's see if I can find that image. The Duel of Hekatar. Uthar was destined to face Chaos Lord Hekatar of the World Eaters upon the ancient stone spanning, crossing the chasm of Embers. Around them, kin and chaos warriors clashed and died as the pillars of volcanic fire erupted from the abyss below. The bridge itself groaned beneath the slaughter, yet neither warlord yielded. Wounded but unbroken, Uthar endured until the moment revealed itself. With one merciless stroke of the blade of the ancestors, he severed Hekatar's right leg and cast the howling world eater into the flames where his rage was swallowed by fire. I do like that he couldn't reach any higher than the leg, and that's what he took off.
Based.
I can tell you. Yeah, cool artwork for this one. Very cool perspective.
Yeah. It's to scale.
It is to scale. He's waist high.
Hey, there's a lot of good stuff for the slashing right at waist height.
Yeah. I do like how he ended up just like, kicking him, tossing him into the volcano. Fun way to get rid of a Chaos Space Marine.
Right.
It's over, World Eater. I have the high ground, but we're at eye level.
Yeah, exactly. It's like fighting the Black Knight. It's like, so you cut off both my legs. Like, you're still completely fucked. I'll nub over to you. Like,
right. just waddle over there with my chain axe and fucking.
Yeah.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
Exactly.
So, the retreat. After many solar hours of brutal armored warfare, and with the greater part of the kin assets safely gathered aboard his waiting voyage ships, Kâhl Ûthar the Destined gave the orders to withdraw from Torg. The servants of Khorne answered with howls of cowardice, but their accusations held no weight. The work was complete. What could be saved had been recovered, while that which remained was judged unworthy of the kin lives required to reclaim it. I like that, of course, like Space Marine culture, like, oh, you're retreating, you're such a coward, especially to like a World Eater or a Khorne Berserker. But the dwarves are like, nope, fuck the shit, we're out. They don't care.
Do you guys know we're fighting on like this volcano world? Like, are you aware this is not a good spot to be?
The Greater Thurian Oath bands withdrew in disciplined order. Behind them, Voidmaster Hemmick unleashed one final devastating volley, scattering the pursuing enemy flotilla before turning her vessels toward warp space. The retreat was costly, for Grimnir Khôn had fallen upon Torg, but the offensive had achieved its purpose. Yet the war surrounding the warp storm Örgvayr was worsening with every passing hour. More enemies gathered, more worlds stood threatened, and the storm continued to spread its influence across Thurian space. The battle upon Torg was ended, but the greater war had only begun, and Ûthar the Destined would soon be called elsewhere to meet the next reckoning.
Cool.
Yeah, and again, I love the part about, what could be saved had been recovered, and that which remained was judged unworthy of the kin lives required to reclaim it. Again, they're not out here with like hubris saying, they're not going to last stand if it's not worth it.
Yeah. Do you think he'll show up in the new Black Templar crossover novel?
It would be very cool if he showed up, and I
Yeah.
might actually
Absolutely.
care about something Black Templar related if it's going to be a true crossover.
Rude.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't support heresy to the imperial truth that the Black Templars keep shoving down our throats.
Okay.
Heretics, a lot of them.
That's funny.
Mutant. I did hear someone say it would be really cool if they came out with Space Marine 3 and you could actually ally with either Tau or Leagues of Votann.
Heresy.
I mean, so leagues would make sense because even like in Kâhl's Oath, they do have a peaceful interaction with the Imperium. Like there is some allyship there.
Yeah, peaceful is a strong word for it, but I mean,
they don't kill each other.
No, but it was far from peaceful.
It's fair. I've been saying for a bit, I would love a Tau game that was, I can't remember who made it, but the people that did the Titanfall games, just because the combat of with the mech suits and being able to go in and out of them really well in that game, I think would lend itself really well to a Tau game, like a Fire Warrior 2, where sometimes you're out with your pulse carbines and stuff, but then sometimes you have to jump in like Crisis Suit or a broadside and fight that way. I think that would be
cool.
Yeah.
Either that or like an Armored Core type of situation for the
even
Tau.
just mech suits would be cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I will talk about Tau later because fuck yeah. But anyway, to the Botanic Council. I have to avenge the Tau slander from the episode.
Yeah.
It's going to the grudge book. No.
Shit.
That's the grudge token.
So when a kin host of the Leagues of Votann goes to war, its command is entrusted to the Botanic Council of its kindred. This council gathers the most honored and proven figures of the kindred. The High Kâhl who commands its warriors, the Brokir Forge Master who directs its smiths, and the Lord Grimnir who leads communion with the Votann. Around them stand other elders of authority, including guildmasters and their chosen advisors, each carrying the weight of generations upon their shoulders. The Botanic Council does not gather for lesser wars. It is summoned when a kindred or its ancestral hold faces a threat grave enough to endanger its very existence. In such hours, the wisdom of the ancestors is sought and every voice is measured. For lesser conflicts, command may pass to smaller councils of Kâhls, Brokir Iron Masters, or living ancestors. At times, a single commander may bear the burden alone. Yet when the greatest peril comes, the council rises together and the kin march beneath the weight of ancient judgment. Over his years of service, Kâhl Ûthar the Destined has served as High Kâhl repeatedly on Vortin's Botanic Council. His wisdom and authority extends not just to his kindred, but the wider, greater Thurian League. This has led him to act as a war leader across other leagues and lead armies of kin across the span of Votann. So yeah, like this is why you could have Ûthar the Destined in whatever league you wanted to, because he does jump between leagues as needed as a Kâhl.
Nice.
One thing I did want to talk about that from the book, and I hope Gerald, you agree with me how fucking cool this was. When in this section when we talk about the weights of generations and the weight somebody is voice carries. In the book High Kâhl's Oath, they have a meeting, and your voice literally carries weight because everybody is given a weight, and that is how you cast your vote for deciding. Is you put your token on one side of a balance of a scales, and depending on your position, you literally have more weights to put into this decision than somebody else. And that was such a fucking cool thing. I don't know why it was so good. Just a really neat little bit of unique lore
Yeah.
for the Votann in
Mhm.
that bit.
Everyone has a voice, but not every voice is equal.
Exactly. Yes,
That's-
they absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, lest we forget, this is your ultra space capitalists. So the higher your tier, just the more prestige you have, the more weight your vote and your voice carries. And that's a big thing with the main character in the book, is she was perfectly fine with being what was she, a prospector?
Yeah.
She was perfectly fine being just like a normal prospector and whatnot. But then certain things happen. I'm not going to go into detail, but because certain things happen, now she's being thrust into this greater position that requires a lot more responsibility. So that's a huge part of the main conflict, a huge part of the conflict in the book with her.
I like it. Well, that's kind of his history.
Gotcha, Kernison.
Yeah, he
That
kind of
fucking
just.
login.
Yeah, this one's sweet. Wild conversion.
Again, join the
kind
Patreon.
of-
Come look at the cool pictures with us while we look at them.
Yeah, like you buy some fire stalkers or firebrand.
Fire Slayers.
Fire slayers, yeah. Great conversions.
Mm-hmm.
Slap on some heads like that. Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
like you just need some. God, I want to go buy some fucking Fire Slayer heads.
Dang, I need to buy a second Gothic model. Holy shit! I need to do this conversion now.
I was just back
You
in
call
my
that a beard?
yeah, I was just back in my home city, and my a friend of mine used to play Fire Slayers in like original Warhammer Fantasy, and he had just sold all of them. And I was like, nah, I might have bought those from you. Damn it. Maybe I'll see if he still has any bits left.
Yeah. Has to have some head lying around somewhere for you.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll jump to Uthar's appearance. Kâhl Ûthar the Destined bears the appearance of a veteran kin warrior shaped by years of war and hardship. He is broad and heavily built, even by the standards of kin, his body marked by old scars and the accumulation of evidence of countless campaigns. His armor is practical rather than ostentatious, though his age and battle-worn condition have become part of his legend. At his side rests the Blade of Ancestors, the ancient plasma weapon bestowed upon him on the day of his birth. Ûthar carries himself with quiet, immovable confidence, rarely displaying haste or uncertainty, and his stern features are often softened only by the dry humor for which his comrades know him. Yeah, cool. Nothing like a guy who can crack a joke when your buddy's head got cracked open.
Crack
I
a
mean,
joke.
Yeah, very cool. I love these dwarves. That conversion. Tight. Yeah, like there's some models in the Votann range that I really do like, but then there's a lot that I'm like, okay, I just need a little bit more dwarf out of you.
yeah,
like
like
even
the
just look at this
Hearthguard
small
really
conversion.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
that helmet just makes all the difference.
It's amazing what a good helmet can do to a model.
Yeah,
For
heck
real.
yeah.
Yeah, like the helmets for the kin, are not very traditionally dwarven. I still give it a pass because one of the things I like about the kin is how multi-purpose everything is that they have. So like people like, I wish their vehicles looked more like tanks and stuff, which they would be very cool. Like Mantic Miniatures has really cool fucking space dwarf tanks and shit. But to me, the kin are like, it's too impractical to why have two vehicles when you can have a hecaton land fortress that can carry all of your stuff and also put cannons on it. Like all of their stuff serves dual purposes. So like their helmets look very much like, honestly, a little bit like real world spacesuit helmets with that rounded visor. Like I paint mine with like a reflective metallic paint like you would have in a NASA space helmet, but because of that practicality of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like why have a mining suit of armor and a war suit of armor when they can pretty much do the same thing for you?
Exactly.
If you just make it just right. Yeah.
Now, again, not to say when you put a Viking helmet on like a Hearthguard model, it looks real good. Like it does look really cool.
And talk about the repurposed armor, lest we forget, dear folks, like Space Marine Terminator armor is repurposed mining equipment.
Exactly.
So,
I was reading a comment the other day. It was like, if Space Marine Terminators are using mining equipment from the golden age of technology, what were the actual military suits like? What were the actual weapons like? If like top tier Space Marines are using mining equipment.
mm-hmm.
Oh man. That's
and Imperial Knights, they were like for the forest. What was it? They were used for logging. Like,
okay, yeah.
So, but this is really making me want to crack open all my Votann boxes. Anyways, personality. What is Uthar's personality like? Uthar is stoic, pragmatic, and remarkably difficult to intimidate. He does not possess the grandiose arrogance one might expect from a warrior proclaimed by prophecy to be destined for greatness. Instead, he treats his supposed destiny as a burden and a duty. He is capable of warmth, particularly toward those he considers his kin, and possesses a dry, often grim sense of humor that makes him more approachable than his reputation suggests. Beneath that composure, however, lies a persistent doubt, whether the prophecy was truly understood and whether he will ultimately prove worthy of what the ancestors have seemingly demanded of him.
Yeah, seems like he was definitely made the Votann knew about the coming storm, and he was made to kind of be that lead figure for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not this like eternal figure, this like he's not supposed to lead the Votann forever or something like that. Like he's like this warrior called for this specific moment, it seems.
Yeah, he's not supposed to, unite the Votann into one giant league or anything. He's supposed to lead them against these huge threats and battles that have popped up.
Yeah.
And I love that. But again, I like that he doubts himself too. He's like, am I doing the right thing? I've got to live up to these expectations of my kindred, of my league, of my people. I mean, it's a lot for one dwarf to bear. I mean,
yeah. Fuck, right off the bat, that's some high expectations.
Yeah. And that was his philosophy. That Uthar believes that destiny is not an excuse to surrender one's will. If the ancestors have chosen him for some great purpose, then it is his responsibility to possess the strength necessary to fulfill it. He therefore places duty above fear, preparation above prophecy, and the survival of his kin above his own legend. Uthar does not believe that being destined guarantees victory. It merely means that when the destined hour arrives, he must be ready to meet it. His philosophy can be reduced to a simple conviction. Whatever fate has written, the kin must still be strong enough to endure it. And I love that. Like, it's almost, I feel like it's a little bit counter to like our Uldrad Uthwain episode, because he's all about like reading the future and
like changing it
and picking a future almost. Yeah. He's like, these are the paths that we can go. This is the one that I'm going to pick, and just goes where Uthar is like, whatever happens, I'm going to be ready for it because that is my true destiny, is to be ready to deal with whatever fate is going to throw at me.
Yeah, that's a cool mindset.
Yeah, they both kind of occupy like two sides of the same coin. They're both in this to save their respective species, to save their respective race. But one is Eldrad is basically, which future can I create that saves the most Eldar? And then Uthar is just like basically hunkering down, digging his heels in, and just daring fate to come after him.
Yeah, like he's like, I will pay the dwarven lives if I have to. We will do that. Don't you worry. But we're gonna make sure that those lives aren't wasted.
Yeah, and that preparation above prophecy is so good.
Yeah.
Just like even if fate is a real thing, he's like, I have to be ready to deal with it. I can't just trust, like I said, I can't just trust that there's some, even if he believes in fate, I don't think Ûthar would believe fate is unchangeable. I don't think he believes in an absolute fate and absolute destiny.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it for sure. Yeah.
To do a little bit of double nerding, it's a very common saying. I think it's the Terminator franchise that says it, but it's like there is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Sure. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
All right, so we go into his abilities. Ûthar is an exceptionally accomplished warrior and commander whose reputation has been forged through countless campaigns. He possesses the battlefield instincts of veteran Kâhl, able to rapidly assess changing situations and identify the decisive point upon which victory depends. His greatest strength is not merely his martial prowess, but his ability to inspire and direct those around him, turning oath bands into disciplined instruments of war. He is highly skilled with the Blade of Ancestors and has survived battles against foes vastly more powerful than himself. His uncanny fortune has also become legendary, with some kin believing the ancestors guide his hand. Whether this is divine intervention, an unusual gift of his clone scheme, or simply the consequence of experience and instinct, Ûthar has repeatedly survived what others would have fallen. Yeah, very cool.
I like that the clone scheme idea, just like that there's, again, because we talked about that there's no way to know how many clone schemes that a Votann has access to using for this genetic manipulation. So maybe that is one that they've been saving in their back pocket that no other kin has, that he does have some sort of unique aspect built into his genetic material.
Yeah. I really like that they don't tell us. It's the best part of this guy. Like,
that's okay. They don't have to.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like I like there's a balance. I like having a balance between how much we know and how much we don't know. Like, like I don't need to know 54 books on the Horus Heresy.
How dare you? Get out of here.
I do like knowing some of it, but some people are like, oh, I hope they do a book series about the Great Crusades. I fucking don't. I don't want to know about the Great Crusades.
I want to know about the Great Crusades. Just read the Primarch books. Most of them are set before the heresy, anyways.
Well, like I would rather get Great Crusade and even maybe into pre-Great Crusade through like memories and like snippets, discovered
like Eldar maybe or something.
Yeah, exactly. I would rather just get like bits and pieces rather than a whole book about, or books about that time period.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, he's somehow able to. I like too that his like everyone knows he's lucky, but it's not like he fights and then a rock falls on the enemies he's fighting and he gets lucky in that way. Like he still does fight and win, and like skill of the blade ultimately at the end of the day. Even though, it seems like he's lucky still. Like maybe he went to block one way and the guy, I don't know. He just seems like lucky, even though he is prepared for sure.
Well, was like luck is when like skill and preparation come together or something like that? Is it
that's a good saying.
I think so.
Yeah, that would describe him perfectly then.
It's like that one mutant from the second Deadpool movie. So what's your superpower? I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Yes. Alana is so good. She's so funny.
Oh man. But what is his war gear like? Like what is this blade of ancestors we keep on talking about? Kâhl Ûthar the Destined bears war gear worthy of the legend surrounding him. The ancient blade of the ancestors, a plasma relic said to have been fashioned by the Votann themselves, and the deadly Vulcanite Disintegrator carried for range combat. His battle suit is protected by a rampart crest, whose defensive field shields those who fight beneath his command.
Yeah, so he's got his Bastion Void Armor. Uthar wears Bastion Void Armor, a heavy suit of kin exo armor built to endure the violence of the void in the battlefield alike. Forged with ancient and resilient materials, it grants him formidable protection without sacrificing the strength and mobility expected of a veteran Kâhl. Its battered plates bear the marks of countless campaigns, each scar a silent testament to battles survived. And he's got a rampart crest. So in the models, the rampart crest is what, like, the animal figurehead things that you would see coming either with Uthar's model parallel to his like shoulders, or you see some of them coming over their heads in some of the other models. And that, from what I remember from like the models and data cards and stuff, is the different animals have different effects. Like they have different defensive capabilities.
By the power of the wolf, I am fast.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Wolf spirit.
So it's reminded me of an old like 80s cartoon called Brave Star, for the like 6 people that have maybe watched that cartoon. Anyway, the Rampart Crest worn by Uthar is a powerful defensive field generator worked into his armor. When activated, it surrounds him in a shimmering protective field capable of diminishing even devastating attacks. God,
I don't think you can make this show in today's day and age.
Oh my God. It took place in an asteroid called New Texas. It's fucking wild.
Wild. Hell yeah.
Yeah, his Rampart Crest basically creates like a bubble shield. So you can't even like, not just for him, too, for like anyone that's kind of adjacent to him.
Very cool. And then he's got the Vulcanite Disintegrator. Uthar carries the Vulcanite Disintegrator, an ancient kin weapon that unleashes concentrated beams of destructive energy capable of reducing enemy matter to ruin. It is a weapon of precision rather than wasteful destruction, allowing the Destined to calmly eliminate threats he judges most dangerous. In Uthar's hands, the weapon becomes an extension of the Eye of Ancestors, delivering death exactly where it's required. And the Blade of Ancestors is the legendary relic plasma blade wielded by one of the Greater Thorian League's greatest heroes, Uthar. Along with the relic ancestral warding staff, known as the Murmuring Staff, it is said to be the only one of 2 weapons ever fashioned through immaculate forging by the Votanns themselves, though prophecy speaks of a third still yet to be wrought. That's cool. That's kind of some fun myth and lore there. The Murmuring Staff. I'm going to look that up while we read another piece of war gear and come back to that.
While Mark's doing that, let's round out the notes here with the Eye of the Ancestors. That name goes pretty hard. The kin wage war according to an ancient and unforgiving arithmetic. Victory has value, but survival has greater worth, and no commander willingly spends lives or precious material merely to satisfy pride. Imperium. Thus, kin leaders may appear cold in battle, their decisions governed by the measured balance of risk, reward, and endurance. Yet beneath this stoicism burns a fierce martial spirit, expressed through shouted oaths, grim humor, and thunderous songs carried across the battlefield. Now we're bringing it back to music. A kin force. We're talking about this here. A kin force may abandon a position of great value or withdraw from a battle still raging if the price of victory becomes too high. Such acts are neither cowardice nor retreat born of fear. They are the acceptance of an older truth. No victory is worth destroying the kin who must live to claim it. To purchase triumph with needless sacrifice is regarded as the folly of those who cannot see beyond the battle before them. Among kin commanders, this discipline is elevated into a sacred art. Even amid slaughter, the leader must remain still in mind and measure the enemy without anger. This is the casting of the Eye of the Ancestors. In a single practiced assessment, A war leader identifies the greatest threats, discovers weaknesses in enemy positions, and determines precisely where strength must be committed. Ûthar the Destined possesses this gift to an exceptional degree. To his allies, it can seem almost prophetic, and that as though he sees the battle not as it is, but as it is destined to become.
Yeah, interesting. So he's just like a master calculator.
Yeah, and that kind of could be where his luck comes from. Like, just like he is able to analyze, a battle, whether it's one-on-one or an entire field of battle, and make those tactical decisions faster than anybody else.
It reminds me of Sherlock's Holmes. There's that one scene where Robert Downey Jr. is fighting in the boxing pit. It's classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Punch him in the kidney, and that way he'll slow down. Block his left arm. Like, it's like that. He kind of has this. Yeah. We might have made that reference on the Uthrad or the Elrad episode as well, but this is kind of better, where it's like quick thinking and like actually analyzing the situation as opposed to like foresight.
Yeah, to triple nerd this, I can also imagine it kind of being like those mentats from Dune, especially the movie where the dude, when he's doing his calculations, his eyes just like roll over white as he's like processing everything.
Yeah. And then he opens them and they're like this again, shocked and horrified.
Ugh.
Oh, God. Well, that's what we had for the guy. Interesting little character. He's got some stuff too, for sure. That's cool. Like not just like he's the best fighter. This whole like clone skiing idea, like, is it different, or could there be more of him potentially? You can go down some fun little thoughts with him.
I just wish there was
AI and Destiny.
I just like the kin in general. I mean, there's not a ton of lore, but I think overall, for the amount of lore they have just a very high proportion of cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
definitely. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's like you have like hundreds of Space Marine books. The quality is just completely varied. You have a very small handful of Eldar books, and they're mostly good. You have like 2, 3, now 4 Necron books, and they're all excellent. We only have one of these. Thankfully, it is a very good read if you're interested for the kin. We need more out of this lore.
Yeah, we'll get there. I have high hopes for them. They seem like they are popular. Like, sometimes they do some test drops and they don't, they're not really going anywhere, but these guys seem like they're selling.
I've seen them be like popular again, mostly from like a lore and model standpoint. At least in the beginning, it was like less from a army viability standpoint. It seems like that changed a bit with 10th edition. Hopefully it keeps going up, so we keep getting more cool models and more story and more lore about it.
Cool.
I can't remember what I heard about 11th edition, but I think the leagues are not doing too hot. Someone that actually plays the tabletop, feel free to correct me, but I think as far as the 11th, leagues are not doing too good.
Yeah,
coming up short, are they?
Yeah.
Fucking brutal.
That's a knee slapper.
That's the Codex creep. I mean, it seems like the Space Marines just got a huge buff from what I saw.
Like T5 strength and toughness or something. Like
for like base Space Marines is toughness 5, strength 5, which is from what I know about tabletop, like for that to be base Space Marine, that's fucking wild.
It's a good time. Yeah, they're gonna be rolling.
Yeah, but don't worry, cool. Xenos fans. The orcs have gotten some pretty big buffs too, from what I've heard. So
that's good.
Yeah, and you can always flip the table too. If ever you're losing, you can always flip that table. So cool. Well, I think our next episode is a Necron episode. Always fun to learn about these kind of characters.
Oh, nice.
Especially now they seem like these characters. Like I remember in like 4th edition, they would have characters, but they really would be just codex entries, kind of like this guy. But now there are definitely like novels. Like Trazen has 2 novels now that both are really good, apparently.
Is that Infinite Divine? Is that one of them, Gerald?
Infinite and Divine is the first one. The Wicked and the Warped is the one that just released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
I might have to make that my next audiobook for Infinite and Divine.
Get after it. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it right now. Right now, I'm listening to one. I posted about it in the Discord, but it takes place almost entirely inside an Imperator class Titan.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
Like,
All right. Well,
So
cool. Well, we will see you guys all in the next episode, and adios. Have a good one.
good night.
All right.